Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and lovers of drones everywhere, welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm Ken Heron, and this is Ryan LaTourette, a.k.a. the legal guy in your corner should you have any troubles in the dronosphere. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. Oh, we've got what they refer to as a humdinger of a show tonight. Yes, we do. We've got news from Jeff Sills. I've got viewer videos. We've got prizes to give away. I've got some channel updates that I'm going to talk about. And we have this criminal, this heathen.
Felon.
He's a felon. That is Donald Muckle. And he's going to be on tonight talking about how he was arrested for flying a drone. And the very delicate and diplomatic way he dealt with the police.
I'm anxious to see this video.
Yeah, so he sent me, just as a little preview, he sent me a video that he made with his first interaction of the cop that walked up on him. And let me say that it's less than ideal. And you haven't seen it, have you?
I have not.
Oh, we're all going to enjoy
yet.
this together. I thank him in advance very much for taking the time to be on. So that's coming up in a little bit. But first, what is new with you? What have you been working on, sir? You're in our corner fighting the good fight.
Wow, there's been so many things. Actually, Don was one of those things. It came up that he reached out to me, let me know of what was going on, and so we got him in touch with an attorney to get him out of the situation.
Okay.
I think the other is we had a little interesting near fly-in protest at the University of Michigan. That decided that they would ban drones over their campus. And they had a nice little letter that came to Kara Murphy and threatened arrest and confiscation and so forth. And
okay.
So we are planning our next legal steps against the university.
All that plus cockfighting.
Cockfighting! Oh, man.
Coming up. But first, our favorite bird, our favorite snack food, ladies and gentlemen, the Cadillac of processed meat. And our favorite sponsor, it's Pigeon Jerky.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats. You'll enjoy pigeon jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. It's balanced nutrition to help them grow.
Yeah!
And it's full of fiber to make them go.
Here we go!
Enjoy pigeon jerky.
Pigeon Jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats. Yeah! Thank you, Pigeon Jerky. A Thursday night staple since 1960. Okay. All right. Oh, I really want to just get right into this. But there's so much to mention. We're gonna talk about the dreaded DJI ban. It's over. The hobby's over. That's it. Hang it up. Start collecting stamps, bitches. No. And so much more. But first, I want to share a couple of things. Now, my last video that I posted about the Pennsylvania Turnpike tunnels. I don't know if you can tell right now, but my glasses are kind of crooked. Usually it's my face because my face is crooked, but I broke my glasses filming that. I was filming the new turnpike and I landed on my hood where I'd put my glasses and and the Mini Ford blew my glasses on the ground. And when I turned, I didn't know they were on the ground. I stepped on them. And so I've kind of duct taped and, fixed them up so they still work. Luckily, the glass didn't break, but the arm is all frig-frack. So I have a couple of outtakes from that. Let me go ahead and share the first one. Now, this, if there's, I do put on my videos, on my streams, that this is not for children. I know that there's some children watching. If your kid doesn't know what a penis is, maybe send him out of the room for just a moment. But let me share this outtake with me and Rob on the trail leading up to my first time view of this amazing abandoned turnpike tunnel.
I gotta tell you, Rob, the folk art
Yes,
sure is kind of obscene, isn't it?
a little bit.
It's interesting,
Always interesting.
and there's no shortage of the peni.
Plenty of peni.
Will there be more peni at
There
the
will
tunnel?
be many more peni.
There should be a peni at the tunnel. Ladies! Can I even put that in? Can we leave that in?
Leave it in.
Okay. Oh, leave it in.
Absolutely.
See, we're talking about leave it. I can't. No. There's no way we can include this in the video.
Put it all the way in.
Now put it all the way in the video.
Yes.
Jesus.
So we had fun that day. I was going to put that in the video because it was hilarious, but I thought, nah.
It looked like a lot of woods. Did you find any beaver?
Yeah, there were a few beaver. Okay. All right. Double entendre. And then I have this other outtake from my Ocean City meet. This is filmed by Mike Junkpick. And if people remember, I don't like it when the film is left on devices. Do you leave film on your devices when you buy them, Ryan?
Film on my device.
You know, the protective film on like a new something or other.
Plastic. No, that
Yeah,
comes
you
off.
you take that off.
Yeah.
Well, Tony didn't take his off, and he apparently saved it just for me. Watch this.
Oh no, Tony. You're not a.
No, you're not gonna.
You're not a leave the stuff on, are you, guy?
Oh yeah, no. I mean to take.
How
it
long
off,
have you
right?
had this?
Oh, about 6 months.
6 months, and you left the film on?
Yeah, well.
Isn't it time to peel?
Are you peeling?
Do you want to peel it, or shall I? Or are we going to leave it? It's up to you. It's your thing.
No, you could. I'll let you peel it.
It would bother me all day if we don't do it, but
Oh yes, so
don't
we're gonna
let that
leave it
factor
on.
into your decision.
I will.
It's going to be shiny and new under here.
You're right.
May I do it?
Nice and slow, Ken.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't want to set off your OCD if it's going to...
Yeah. It's,
Oh, gosh. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Oh, a little spit there.
well, it'll come right off.
Yep. Now we'll just leave it there. How about that? No,
Yeah,
we gotta
let's
fit-
leave it there.
No,
Let's leave it there.
No, that would be even worse. No, we have to get my little spittle off.
There you go.
Yes.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, so much better. So much better.
You need a basis.
Wow. Why would anyone leave that on? Let me know in the chat if you leave the protective film on your things. What are you going to resell it? I don't understand the logic behind that. Your thoughts,
I guess
Ryan,
the
if any.
question is, who's more OCD, leaving it on or having to have it come off?
Yes, but it feels so good. You know, like I would say that probably the people that remove the film are scab pickers as well. I'm a scab picker. If I got a good scab, that's coming off too. So, all right. So before we get into the news, and Jeff is on standby, he's got a lot of it and it's good stuff. I want to thank everyone for supporting the channel. Got a lot of new viewers lately, thanks to a larger channel featuring one of my videos. I see a few of them in the chat right now. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the live stream. One of the things I know you guys hate is when things go wrong, you know, like when Wirecast messes up or YouTube or my computer glitches. And in an effort to make that not happen, and part of the reason was my computer is from 2018. It was badass back then, but it's time to upgrade. So I've ordered a new computer, and that was pretty expensive. So thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel. That said, let me go ahead and thank the early super chatters. Just very quickly, of course, the Robs. Thank you, the Robs. Rob Muller with a €6 super chat. Hi, Ken. Here's some euros from a small town in the Netherlands called Haarlem. Thank you very much for your support. And as always, Drone Rob with his $20. Much appreciated, sir. Happy 2024, sir. Leonard Oglesby has been a member for 38 months. If you want to become a member, then you'll be privy to all of the membership content, some of which we just filmed a little while ago. And we learned a few things in there, didn't we, Ryan?
Maybe.
We did. There was some Hooters girls juggling flaming chainsaws topless. Just go with it. I'm trying to get some people to become membership. Every week I look for.
It was okay.
Oh, yes. Just got a new member. Thank you very much. Leonard Oglesby has been a member for 38 months. If you've been a member for over 24 months, then your little heron bird up there turns golden. The Grumpy Vlogger, also a gold member. I said member. Of the Pigeon Jerky Gang. For 38 months, thank you very much. He says, Happy New Year, everyone. One Vision Ariel has been a member for 13 months. Thank you so much. Dynadrone just gave us $5. Thank you very much. He says, well, I'm here. I'm excited about you being here as well. In the Woods, great username. Member 26 months. Eat More Possum just gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Eat More Possum. And whenever you gift a membership, YouTube kind of doles it out to whoever's participating. I don't know how they do it. Some, AI algorithm, some crap that does it like, here, you get a membership. You get a membership. So you get that free for 30 days. If you like what you see, then you'll stay. If not, then you don't have to renew it, but that's how that works. Newfoundland Drones just gifted 5 new memberships. So we have 6 new members already. The goal every week is just 10. It's not a lofty goal. It's just 10. Thank you very much. Newfoundland Drones. And Yellow Rose Drones has been a member for 31 months. Hello from my new bride and myself. Oh, congratulations. You're making your wife watch this. All right. Well, she's a keeper if she agreed to watch this. Thank you. And congratulations, you two crazy lovebirds. Trevor Fuss, all the way in Australia with a Australian $5. And I hear that Australian money is almost like real money. So thank you very much. I'm kidding. I kid because I love. Happy New Year to you too, Trevor. $20 from Paul. Paul Slath. Please email me with a pronunciation guide. You can do that here. Email me, kenheronupload@gmail.com, and tell me how to pronounce your name. Paul S. $20. Thank you very much. To help with the new PC, can you share some specs? It is an Alienware Aurora R16 with 14th gen i9 processor. It perks coffee and it predicts earthquakes. And a little hand comes out and high fives me once in a while. So it's worth the money. And thank you very much for asking about that. Tim Rahan has been a member for a while. Thank you very much. You can give your old PC the USB controller treatment on air. It'll be epic. No, actually, I'm giving my old Alienware PC to good old Jeff Sills, who has helped me so greatly over these past years. And I thank him and you very much for being a member. Discovering the High Life, $1.99. Thank you very much. And Leonard Oglesby has just gifted 5 new memberships. Thank you, Leonard Oglesby, a gold member for quite a while. You can keep those super chats coming throughout the show. But right now, I guess it's time to go ahead and get into the news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Jeff Sills is standing by in the drone newsosphere with all the latest and greatest news for you. What's going on, Jeff?
Well, it's a challenge trying to find news that is, fun and entertaining. And so this week I tried to find some fun and entertaining stuff for you.
Yeah.
First of all, we have to bow to our makers, the DJI, and let them know that there's an Avata firmware update and a Mavic 3 firmware update.
Or
we could do a sponsor.
Boop. Oh, Jeff. Oh, yes, we could.
Yeah, because the news is brought to you by Camera Butter.
It is.
Ultra high quality ND filters, screen protectors, and FPV accessories. If you want no compromise performance from your camera, get you some Camera Butter. CameraButter.com.
By the way, I love the way you say camera. It's so precious. Camera butter.
Camera.
Yeah. Go to CameraButter.com. Actually, Paul, who is the Camera Butter guy, is from Canada. He does Camera Butter in Canada, and he will be on the next show.
Excellent.
We're going to be talking about long distance FPV stuff. Yeah. So thank you very much, Paul.
Well, speaking of FPV stuff, if you have an Avata FPV drone or a Mavic 3 aircraft, DJI has issued some surprise updates. Unfortunately, they're promising to fix some issues, but we don't exactly know what those fixes are or what's in it. It's just a mystery. So, but you will notice that there are updates for the aircraft firmware versions, as well as the RC Motion Q controller, the FPV Remote Controller 2, the DJI Motion Controller for the Avata.
We don't know what it does.
For the video headset, you can also now update the DJI Goggle 2.
Does it give us something better than we had, or are they just updating the speed at which China receives our information?
No, apparently this is bug fixing primarily.
Oh, okay, bug fixing
is what I'm getting from it.
Gotcha.
But because they don't want to go and expose their faults, they just say we're fixing bugs.
Fixing bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if you really wanted to dig around out there, there's probably somewhere that lists, the technical specs of what they've changed, but it was not available to me when I found this information. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Well, there you go. I'm sure there are other channels that do extensive firmware videos. But not here.
All right. So in Fargo recently, a 13-year-old was found using a drone.
Oh, yes.
And if you were in the Deer Creek area in Fargo tonight and saw a large emergency response, they were conducting a search for a 13-year-old boy. The boy has been found and is safe. He was reported missing around 3 this afternoon. The search started at 5:40 p.m. It included drones and a bloodhound. Police haven't said where the boy was eventually found, only saying that as of 7 p.m. he was located and is safe.
Oh, good. I guess, did they find him using the drone? Was it the drone or the dog that won out that search?
They have said that the drone was probably the most useful of the two, but the bloodhound helped helped localize the area where the drone needed to be searching.
Good.
So, all right, the United States Air Force is getting a new drone. They're getting a heavy lift drone or a cargo lift drone for them called the Silent Arrow. This is designed to be a heavy lift drone for them. It's supposed to have large payload capability and fly up to 345 miles as its operating distance, capable of hauling up to 1,000 pounds of freight.
So because I can't tell scale from this, how big is the damn thing?
That thing is probably the size of a small truck.
Oh,
yeah, it's not a small drone in anything, but it's going to carry an awful lot of weight.
Okay.
The maximum flight capacity is 2,000 pounds at 35 nautical miles, but I'm thinking they're going to stick with the 1,000 pounds for 345 miles, so that'll be fun.
Okay, cool.
All right. Next, did you get a drone for Christmas? This is a great story that I just had to share with you guys. So enjoy.
Enjoy this.
It was a picture drone, and I was flying it. My brother wanted to fly it. He flew it up higher and higher. My mom said to me, get it lower, but he may keep on getting it higher. And then we lost it.
Oopsie daisy.
You lost it. How did that make you feel?
Sad.
So Pierce really wanted a drone for Christmas. He got one from Santa Claus. He was super excited. We were really excited to come out in the morning, play with it. We were just over here in the street flying it, and Pierce let his brother take a turn, and we lost control pretty quickly. So about 10 minutes into opening it up, we had lost it. We put the post on Facebook, and there was a kind of an outpouring of support from people in the community, checking their yards and seeing if they could find it. There was even a little boy who said he has a drone, he'll go out and try and find it for us. Unfortunately, we didn't, but maybe it'll turn up in the next couple of days.
So we're trying to educate people on how not to lose a drone. Do you have any tips?
Sure, yeah. Drones have become a really popular Christmas gift these days, and you can get them right out of the box and get them in the air almost right away, and before you know it, if you're not careful, it's gone. Best practices are to always have eye line of sight when you're flying. You never want to fly it so far away that you can't see it visually. A lot of these drones have a camera built on them, and you can look at the feed of what the camera is seeing, but you should always maintain visual line of sight when you're flying.
Okay. Now, was this a younger brother, I'm guessing? Younger than 5?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the younger brother.
Right. Mama got us a blender, and my brother wanted to put his hand in it. But was there an adult nearby? Or mom just like, go ahead?
No, yeah, mom apparently was there and just didn't get to it fast enough, for them to catch it. And it was a flyaway. My guess is that it was one of the smaller toy drones. It's not. It doesn't come across to me like they lost a $500 DJI drone or something.
No.
Something that was a toy, and we know from millions of people who've shared the experiences, those fly away all the time.
Yes, and even people that are experienced drone pilots like Barkley can have a crash, but you have to know what to do in a crash. Speaking of crashes, I'm still accepting your crash videos for volume 12. I'm gonna do it. I'm getting them in. Send them here, KenHeronUpload@gmail.com. Let me know what your music is, because if you're not using Epidemic, link in the description, then it's crap music, and you don't want to use it. But speaking of Barkley's crash, here it is. Here's Barkley's crash.
Nessie se da cuenta y cambia.
Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, goodness. Well,
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's the catchphrase for the night right
Goal!
there. Nothing but net.
All right.
All right. So with a surge in drone warfare in all of the places that we've seen, the Pentagon has opened up a new school for U.S. troops.
The U.S. military has launched a new school to train American armed forces in how to counter the emerging threat of drones, or what it calls unmanned aircraft systems, or UAS. The first academy of its kind, the Joint Counter Small Unmanned Aircraft Systems University, or JCU, will train about 1,000 troops a year.
Warfare is changing very fast. This threat right here, this current threat with respect to UAS, it's the pace of your phone changing.
This footage is from a Ukrainian drone attack carried out against Russian forces. And this video is from a Hamas drone attack in November carried out against Israeli forces in Gaza. The proliferation of small, cheap, commercially available drones is transforming modern warfare, and this has not been lost on the Pentagon.
The pace of the need is outgrowing capacity right now, so we're trying to train as many people as possible.
All right, so what we have in front of us here is what's known as the Smart Shooter.
Smart Shooter training does involve drones, but students don't shoot directly at them. Instead, they shoot at balloons dangling below the drones on a string. The JCU said balloons are more cost-effective and, thanks to the high winds in Oklahoma, a harder target to hit. The students are also learning how to use another handheld system, the Drone Buster.
Whereas the Smart Shooter utilizes the 5.56 round, this is known as an electronic attack system. So the soldier is taking this here and they're pointing in the general direction of the target that they see. And then the soldier will place it in operation, utilize various jamming means to interdict that target.
Balloons. So the military doesn't have any tannerite. Exploding targets or balloons? I don't know. What's more fun? I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're learning real fast, courtesy of the Ukrainian and Russians, that a $500 drone that you get off the shelf can take out a multi-million-dollar tank.
Right.
And there's a very strange offset to that. You know, we've seen them dropping explosives on aircraft. Those are hundreds of millions of dollars, and laying waste to those. So yeah, there's a big deal for this, and I'm glad to see that our military is taking it seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so we're not allowed to fly drones at football games.
Yeah.
In fact, we get really aggravated when we see other people fly drones at football games. But recently at the Rose Bowl, they were able to fly drones at the football game.
Okay.
Drones were the stars of the post-game show after the Wolverines scored 27-20 against the Crimson Tide. The Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade teamed up with Sky Element Drone Show for the drone show.
We are just super excited to be here at the Rose Bowl. It is such an amazing, iconic event. We're using 450 drones, and when you're using that many, you definitely have to balance the battery life, make sure that you don't get them on too early, that you have enough battery to make the show happen, especially when a game like today ends up in overtime.
The 13-minute show celebrated the new year as well as the history and tradition of the Rose Bowl game.
I just want to fly one drone. They get to fly 450.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? Those are really cool. I have yet to see a cluster drone show. One of the goals that I would like to do this year, if I get the opportunity, sometimes you see those cluster drone shows and there's another drone filming it, like an FPV drone that flies through the drones and around to give a really unique perspective of the show. I want to do that. You think anybody would trust me to do that?
Oh, I'm sure that you would probably find somebody.
I'm
that
being
would,
told
yeah.
no. What's that? I'm being told no. They would not.
Oh,
they would not trust
no,
me.
I bet you they would.
I fly those all the time.
Sure.
So there was really some very serious earthquakes that occurred recently in Japan. And it caused a lot of damage. There were tsunami warnings, which obviously Japan does not need any more tsunami warnings.
Yeah.
But obviously you don't get the full breadth of the impact of these things until you see it taken from a drone. So this is footage from a small town called Wajima on the northern coast of Japan.
You remember all that stuff from 2011, right? Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that just going, oh my God, that's apocalyptic. And then, is this anywhere near where that other stuff happened? Did they rebuild in 2011 and then have this destroyed again?
This would be on the northern side, so I don't know if this is going to be in the same area, but they had a tsunami that hit near here that damaged some of the jetties. Didn't get as far inland as the previous one, but this earthquake, from what I understand, was closer to the coast. It wasn't out in the deep ocean like the one previously was.
And you know, if you're there and you hear tsunami warning, you remember 2011, so they had to have been, 1, prepared, 2, scared. So, head for the hills. I hope everything will be all right.
Well, surprisingly enough, from what I'm hearing so far, is that the things that they've put in place to mitigate the impact and to get people moving faster seems to have really cut down the number of people that were injured or killed. So
good.
All right. This out of Japan. I love this. I had to share it with you because we've had all sorts of people that fly FPV.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need a nice Buddhist monk.
Oh, FPV is for everyone.
Yes.
A drone flies through narrow spaces with agility and precision. The pilot of this drone is Fuji Akinori.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
He is the chief priest of a Buddhist temple. Fuji started flying drones 4 years ago.
The hardest part is holding it still in the air.
He was a complete beginner, but with regular practice, he quickly became hooked as he mastered its movements. In September, Fuji took part in a drone competition in Hiroshima. It was a timed obstacle race. He won, confirming his status as the fastest drone racer in the region.
I might have a slight advantage because although I still get nervous under pressure, I can keep my cool.
Now he's off to practice. Fuji goes to a local facility every week to meet his teammates.
It's exciting to interact. I enjoy it.
Fuji has even organized drone races in his temple. The course was set up at the main hall in the historic heart of the temple. Participants came from all over Japan.
It was the biggest crowd we've ever had at the temple. It was fantastic. I hope to attract more people to our city through drones, which can be enjoyed by everyone, regardless of age. I'll continue to do my best.
That is fantastic. I love that.
Yep.
That's so great. We need everybody to fly drones. Everybody. Buddhist priests, that's good karma.
Good karma.
Huh? That's Buddhism.
All right.
Buddhism's where karma comes from, by the way, in case you didn't know that. That's true. Okay. Back to you, Jeff. Did you know
I
that?
can't get that from.
Okay.
I can't get that from Amazon.
Little fun fact.
got it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we've done drone shows by Sky Elements. Sky Elements is one of the people that have done many of the drone shows that I've showcased on the show here. Recently, they decided they wanted to go after a Guinness World Record. But what was really interesting is, and it's really getting kind of hard to come up with new ways to do Guinness World Records for drones. But for this one, the Guinness World Record is for the most emojis formed by UAVs in 3 minutes.
Okay.
One, two, three emojis. It's like this. Cool emoji. The left there. Having a bad day, 7 emojis. Hard eyes. It's 9.
They're moving.
Yeah, they are. Oh, the frustrated emoji. I don't know what that. It could be frustrated. I don't know what the official name is.
Not sure, but they're hustling. They want to win.
There's another one where it's like, bad day. No, this is the one. Oh, sad record. Oh, 13. What? 14. I love the counter.
That is 2 minutes.
2 minutes in? It's a mask, because everybody loves COVID masks nowadays. 17.
What a great reminder.
Oh, mad emoji. 18. It's like another.
Some angry faces in this.
We went hard anger on this thing. Emoji. Sick emoji. 22. Last one. Celebration hat emoji.
Yay! Yeah, they did it. But where's the eggplant and the peach emoji?
That's 24 emojis. And that's 3 minutes. Those drones were maneuvering a lot.
Yeah,
and
that was
you
good.
You sit there and think about the power that they need, the battery life that those things have for normal drone shows, etc. That was impressive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right. I didn't want to talk about this one. I know that I have to talk about this one. It was in the news, and unfortunately, I don't. Anyway, charges could be filed after a drone and a helicopter recently collided midair in Daytona Beach.
Mm-hmm.
In Volusia County, charges could be filed after a drone and a helicopter collide in midair. This happened on Saturday afternoon above the Daytona Beach flea market. The sheriff's office says the drone pilot was recording video for a construction company at the time. He was looking down at his tablet when he heard the collision and then saw the drone was no longer in the air. The helicopter pilot was flying for leading edge helicopter tours. Deputies say he was unable to avoid the drone. The collision damaged his rotor blade, costing about $60,000 in damage. The FAA is now investigating. The sheriff's office says that any charges or citations will come from that agency.
Mm-hmm. So, Ryan, you got any more details about this? Because do we know what kind of drone it was, or who was involved?
Yeah, so we do. Yeah, it's a Mavic 2 professional drone that he was flying. He was doing a standard construction video, had every legal right to be there, had the exception for Lance because he was flying above the 50 feet ceiling in the Lance grid. The challenge is that he was heads down, looking at the tablet the entire time and probably not scanning the skies as he should.
Does that drone have the ADS-B on it?
The ads be aware. I'm trying to think if it does or not. I don't think it does.
Did the helicopter fly into the drone or vice versa?
Well, that's the other question that's still under investigation by the NTSB and FAA. I think there's another interesting aspect here is that there was a NOTAM for the helicopters. So helicopters were supposed to stay above 200 feet in that area. This helicopter impacted the drone at about 150 feet. Now we know that I think there's that challenge that I hear a lot of drone pilots say, "Oh, all manned aircraft need to stay over 500 feet."
Right.
No, that is not the case, and we need to kind of make sure everybody is aware. There are certain aircraft, such as helicopters, weight shift aircraft, ultralights, paragliders. They do not have to fly at over 500 feet, and so this is one of those cases where they can be skimming the tops of the trees, and boom, they're up on you pretty quick. That's not to say that this helicopter was operating legally. That's something that's still in question and is part of the investigation.
Well, let's all have just a moment of silence for everybody aboard the helicopter who died as a result.
That's why I'm laughing. No silence.
Oh, there was nobody got killed? Oh, okay. So we still have we're still no death record? Are we?
No death record.
Oh, well, that's
no death record.
Well, I can tell you this. I was surprised at how much damage that caused in money. Now, an aircraft is a lot more easily totaled than your car. You get fuselage damage.
Investigating that a little bit too, they gave a $60,000 cost to the replacement of the blades. It's kind of interesting. The blade does not cost anywhere near that, but what they've tacked on is the idea. Well, we got all the labor. So you're really looking at, you knock the bumper off your car. Well, the bumper is going to cost $500, but because you're in a situation you got to take it to the shop. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Suddenly it's $2,500 damage to your car.
So
that's kind of what we're seeing here.
Who's the villain in this story? It's obviously going to be the drone.
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. So number one, and this is a reminder to everybody out there, right? As drone operators, we have a requirement that we must see and avoid. So don't sit there and bury your face in the tablet. You need to be scanning the skies on a routine basis, looking for air traffic. And if you see or hear air traffic, that's another one here, take and use those senses and now get out of the way. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to land, right? It's not see and land. It's see and avoid.
Well, didn't his visual observer notify him?
There you go. That's another piece. If you're going to be heads down in a tablet, this is a great opportunity to grab a VO, right? Sometimes you could get a kid, right? They're cheap,
right?
Pay a VO to be there with you and keep scanning the skies at all times. That's a really great use of the VO in this type of situation.
How old does the kid have to be for the VO? I mean, he can't be.
It was a picture drone, and I was flying it.
It can't be that kid, right?
Yeah, that'd be challenging. No, there is no specific limit as to an age requirement for a VO. You could have basically anybody. But I'll emphasize again, this was very close to an airport, right? This is Daytona Beach. They're flying right close to the end of the runway. This is probably a place where you really want to consider having a visual observer and taking a great look at those skies.
Well, I mean, that's just common sense to be aware. Was that a touring helicopter?
It was a tour helicopter. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So those go up and down a lot.
Well, and I can speak from experience. When George Bush, the train came through Magnolia on the way to College Station when they were carrying the casket through, everybody lined up, and there were drones that were out going to catch the train as it passed through. I went out and had the Heron of all drones up in the air and was filming the stuff, but I could hear this helicopter, and all the other people kept their drones up, and I was like, no. And I brought the helicopter back, or I brought the drone back, and I landed it. And the sounded like it was far away. What happened was that they had a security helicopter that was flying 75 feet, 80 feet off the ground, alongside the railroad tracks, and had the dude hanging out the side with the machine gun, tucked along, and they were doing checks along the track ahead of the train. And the other people that had their drones up, they were frantically trying to get them out of the area.
But not you. You flew right up to that thing. You got a close up of that guy with the gun, right?
No, my drone was safely sitting on the ground in front of me, waiting for that helicopter to fly off. And as soon as I couldn't hear it anymore, then I went back up and I got footage of the train.
Good man. We don't need that kind of attention. So in the end, Ryan, what's going to happen with all this? It's still going on. It's ongoing right now, the investigation.
Yeah, it is ongoing with the investigation. They'll come up and have a final report. Somebody's going to inevitably have some type of FAA enforcement action taken against them. That could be just a slap on the hand, right? But I think it does two things for the community. One, it reminds us, as we talked about, have a visual observer, keep attentive to the skies, do the things that are safety cautious, right? But then the other is and put this in your back pocket when you're talking to anybody, especially elected officials, right? There were no injuries, right? The property damage, okay, that was minimum versus if the helicopter had crashed into a building, you're talking, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage. Again, no fatalities. We haven't had a fatality in RC aircraft since 2013. So we're over a decade without a fatality. There have been a number of mid-air collisions between UAS and aircraft that have been confirmed. Again, we aren't seeing the injuries as catastrophic damage. Those are things that we can take and put a feather in our cap. We are the safest aircraft in the skies, bar none.
All right. And now, Jeff, before I let you go, someone sent, and we're going to use this as a little palate cleanser to go from this crash to something that we can all relate to. This is just a nice, relaxing little video that someone sent in. This is for you, Jeff, before we let you go here. Hey, Ken, been a lurker for years and thought you might enjoy this compilation. Of course, I made this with our buddy Jeff in mind. The subject matter is his favorite. Enjoy what you do, and despite the technical difficulties that pop up from time to time, I speak on behalf of many. Don't get discouraged and give up on us. I won't. We love your content. Jim Devlin. So this is from Jim to everyone, but mostly for you, Jeff. Enjoy.
I need a beer.
Beer or Tylenol?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just relax, Jeff. Just sit back. It's soothing, isn't it? It's like a lava lamp. You just stare at it. Oh, pretty. Jeff, your thoughts?
No, don't ask me my thoughts.
What are your thoughts, Jeff?
I'm waiting for the punchline.
I don't know what you're talking about. Uh-oh. Oh, they're getting a little feisty. Oh, no. That's true. Oh dear. Oh, that was close. Oh boy. Ooh. Why do birds hate drones so much? Golly. Yes. Trees. Link to the shirt in the description. Wasn't that nice, Jeff? Wasn't that nice?
Yeah, I will say that was very well done.
That was nice. That was a great shot of all those. What are they called? Those. They're avian. What are they? What are they, Jeff? What are they called again?
Birds.
Yeah, they are.
Don't you know about the bird where everybody knows that the bird is the weather where the bad bird, the bird's the weather where the bad bird, the bird's the weather where the bad bird, the bird's the weather where the bad bird, that is the weather where the bad bird, the bird's the weather where the bad bird, the bird's the weather. Don't you know about the bird where everybody knows that the bird is the weather?
Yeah. Jeff, your thoughts?
I'll tell you what my thought is. I'm going to start getting an ice cooler right here and keeping beer close by, because you keep springing this stuff on me when I don't have the alcohol handy, and it's not fair.
All right,
So
Jeff.
I'm just going to tell you now.
Well, thank you very much for the news. We appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
All right. Jeff. What a great guy. What a good sport, that Jeff. Yeah. Now, of course, Ryan, being the good co-host you are, you, of course, have a joke for us.
Oh, my. Ken told me no jokes this week.
Did I?
You did. You said no jokes this week. We'd run right through.
No. Oh, no. That's... The format is jokes.
Oh, my.
All right. You know what? I don't want to put you on... I don't want to put you on the spot. Before we bring this criminal and this felon, before we bring this wild man in, he's on standby. Let's just talk for a moment about the DJI ban and how the hobby is done. It's over. Forget it.
It's done.
It's over. It's dead.
Sorry, guys. Big paperweights.
That's it. Hang it up. Go do another hobby. Collect stamps, whatever you got to do. What's going on with that?
Eventually they'll ban those too, right?
Yeah. So everybody's talking about this, and what's the gist of it, sir?
So yeah, Congress passed the NDAA, which is the National Defense Act, right? That allows the military to get some money to do different things, and it's kind of been consistent that when they do pass an NDAA, they somehow decide to put drones in that. And you may recall that they did that with drone registration after John Taylor won his case against the FAA and the court threw out drone registration.
Mm-hmm.
Congress came back and said, well, we want drone registration. So they passed it in the NDAA and made it law. So they've dinked around with the NDAA again.
Good word, dink.
And this time through.
Good word, like that.
Dinked is right.
Yeah.
So this time through, they put in a couple of different, 3 or 4 different sections that revolve around banning certain manufacturers of drones in particular instances.
And this was championed by Florida, was it not?
Well, Florida was the first state in the nation to pass something very, very similar, right? Florida went through and said, hey, we are going to ban Chinese drones from all first responders, government units in our state, so that they couldn't use them with exceptions. There were exceptions.
But this is federal now.
And now they pass it up to the federal level.
Well, that's it. It's over. Forget it. Hang it up.
Yeah.
Last stream. It's over. Forget it. I'm canceling all my plans. That's it. It's done. So essentially, let me get this. Let me get this straight. You tell me if I'm wrong. So they can't use federal money to buy Chinese drones.
Yeah, so
federal
it's a
or
procurement issue, right? So
right.
If you are an executive branch of the federal government, then you want to purchase a drone. This eliminates that possibility in 2 years' time.
In when?
Oh, 2 years' time.
No, so not now? Not now?
It's not immediate effect. There's 180 days before it goes active, and then there's a 2-year exception period allowed for different things.
Okay. All right.
And it goes into that, but it is particular to Chinese drones.
Yes.
So
because
it's really targeting DJI and Autel.
This is political virtue signaling. It's some politician that wants to do good for his district. He says, well, I know how you hate China. I hate China too. Look what I'm doing. Look what I did to China. Vote for me. So even if that goes through in 2 years, I'm here to tell you it's not a bad thing. There's several reasons why. One, it fosters our local manufacturers to catch up to where DJI is. and offer their solutions, our United States technology. And two, and this is something that maybe a lot of you haven't thought about, and that is if your local agency, your local municipality can't purchase drones and they can't use drones that they haven't purchased. Now, a lot of these are grandfathered in. There are the exceptions. That's what you were talking about. But if they were planning, if they were budgeting to bring in these awesome, these FLIR things that can catch criminals and do searches for Alzheimer's patients that stumble off and all this great things that DJI does, if they can't get that, they can enlist the public, that's you, to do it for them. So that's more jobs for us. And that's a good thing.
As contractors.
Yes, they can contract it out.
So I think what's key to know, right, is this is federal. So we're talking about the federal government versus state governments and local governments. So if you are Department of Natural Resources at the state level, you're fine. If you are the Department of Defense, that's different. You're at the federal level. Or the National Park Service. The National Park Service is under the Department of Interior. They would be prohibited from using funds, federal funds, to procure a Chinese drone. At the same token, right, if your state has a program that is federally funded by one of these agencies, right, then those federal funds could not be used to buy a drone.
So this is for Chinese technology. Are they going to have to also not buy Chinese cell phones?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, they can? They can still do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
buy
just
your Chinese cell phones, buy your Chinese toys.
It's just drones.
Just drones.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah, that's the logic of your government at work right there.
In fact, kind of the interesting thing is any of these U.S. manufacturers, they're mainly buying Chinese parts to create their drones. No challenge whatsoever. You can buy those Chinese parts and build a U.S. made drone. And
Now, what about in 2 years' time? Let's say this goes through, which it won't. It won't.
It will.
It won't.
That's just that we're talking about when it goes into effect.
When it goes into effect. Okay. When it goes into effect, there will be companies that form that will bring in parts and give you an American-made DJI drone, right? You can do that, buy the parts, manufacture it here.
Technically, we already have that, right? So we have the blue list drones, right? Blue listed drones are those drones that have been identified as U.S. manufacturers that are okay for Department of Defense to buy a drone from. I can tell you my experience with the blue list drones is like, they had that puke emoji, right, in the drone light show. I think that's applicable here.
Yeah.
They just haven't caught up, right? DJI is still the cream of the crop. Autel is nipping on DJI's heels. And
by the way, just very quickly, Autel is a Chinese company. For those who don't know, and a lot of people don't. I don't mean to smirk. But the Autel is a Chinese company. Now
everybody says, well, they have their headquarters in Washington. Well,
right.
Okay, that's a U.S. headquarters, but they are a Chinese
Chinese company. Now, there was another example of this kind of legislation that happened for routers. There was a company called Huawei or something, and they made
Huawei phones. Yes.
Yes. And they made great internet routers and equipment, and there was some kind of ban that banned that specific company, and all these, it was such an expense to replace with less good, they weren't as good stuff from other manufacturers. So there is a history of this happening.
And to that point, right, when that came out, there were exceptions written along those lines too. They weren't as great as the exceptions that are currently available,
right,
for the drone bans. So right now, if you are Department of Interior and you already have a DJI drone, right? So you're going to be able to continue to fly that DJI drone for some time until the operations part kicks in 2 years. But if you have an idea, hey, I need a DJI drone. I have specific purpose for this. There's no other manufacturer that's going to work out for me or is not as good. I have that data. Then you can go and get an exception. There's an ability
if you're
to have that.
If you're a municipality, because this ban isn't for
not
private
even at
people, is it?
Municipality level. This is federal at the federal.
At the
level.
federal level. Okay. But for everyone else, because people hear DJI ban and they don't look further than that. They're like, oh shit, I got a DJI. Oh damn it, I'll sell it and I don't know, buy a bike. I don't know. But so we as hobbyists, we don't have to worry about that. Even Part 107 people, we can still get. They're not stopping the import of it.
No. And I think that's the miscommunication that you're hearing is that, some people are saying, oh, this is going to impact the consumer market and you aren't going to be able to buy a drone at Best Buy or Amazon, what have you, that's Chinese made. That's not the case at all. I cannot foresee a time when that's going to happen.
No, there's too much money.
Yeah.
Too much money. Too much. So in the end, again, let's give the bullet points. The DJI ban thing has been passed at the federal level, or the bill has been.
It has been passed and signed by the president. So it absolutely is in place. It just is 180 days out from taking effect.
Right.
And then you have a 2-year period from that 180-day mark
for compliance.
when it actually kicks in with compliance on operations.
Okay. So and here's another reason why this is good is because what are all the federal agencies? Now, they can still use the stuff or they can't buy new stuff. They can already use the stuff they have, or do they have to get rid of?
Yep, can't buy new stuff.
New stuff. So
it's procurement at this point.
Procurement. Okay. So it's kind of a toothless bill, isn't it?
Well, and that's kind of the interesting thing, right? So they can't buy new stuff.
Right.
How, when we look at drones, how much is the life cycle of a drone? You typically see a new drone every, 18 months? New model of that existing thing. So a drone that you bought 18 months ago is being replaced currently, right? So
but they're going to use it.
The federal government's not going to be able to buy a new drone
until
they need that functionality.
Right. Until Skydio or Larry Drone Company out of Indiana has something better, because even the old DJI drones that they'll still be able to use as they are grandfathered in won't be as good as Larry Drone Corp or whatever. But there will be a time, if that continues, if they don't say, well, this was very bad, and we're just forget about it. Forget about that whole badness. If they continue with it, then you can look on govdeals.com for a lot of great deals on some old government used equipment. Because that's where it's going to end up.
Fun, won't it?
Right? Hey, if you want to buy a fire engine or a cop car, an ambulance, go to govdeals.com, govdeals.com. It's a fantastic wonderland of used stuff. So I hope we cleared that up and gave you a little bit of optimism in this world of dread, because I love my fellow drone YouTuber people, but I will say this: doom and gloom videos do better than unicorns and rainbows. If I had a videos like the death of the hobby, 100,000 views. Well, what was Ken saying? Oh my God! But if I said, this whole, don't worry about it. Rainbows, unicorns, not as many people. But so I hope we've give you a little bit of hope for the future. So don't worry about that. All will be okay, right?
Eventually so.
Eventually so. All right. That said, we got to bring our guest in. Speaking of doom and gloom. But
bring on the jailbird.
Yeah, but first, I want to enlist, and I'm seeing that we have just about enough people watching, and most of you are subscribed. But if you're not subscribed, and you watch my channel, I urge you to subscribe because, boop, I'm pretty close. This is a live count of my subscribers right now. I want to get to that. I want to change that one over there to a 2. That would really make me happy. I don't ask a lot of you. I don't, I don't ask you to buy the latest dip-de-doo, do I? Do I? No? Just subscribe, that's all. And you could subscribe and not be pestered with notifications. Just subscribe and then just put no notifications. And I benefit and you benefit. So this is a live count. Now, I know some of you knuckleheads will unsubscribe just to make me upset. Now, you wouldn't do that, would you? As I'm watching oh, that's good. It's going in the right direction. All right.
Rainbows and unicorns.
Rainbows and unicorns. That's what it's all about. All right. So let's see. I want we have to bring in our guest. We have to. All right. His name is Donald Muckle, and now here's where normally I would ask my co-host, who's prepared to tell me a joke, but now we'll just have to ask you to please stand by while I bring it. Do you have anything that you would like to add to anything while it's your show? While I bring in our guest.
Show. Oh,
your show.
It's my show. Oh.
Yeah.
I think when we're talking all the doom and gloom and the federal level, I think the idea is we have to watch out, right? It has passed in Florida. It's now passed at the U.S. Congress. This thing is going to trickle down to other states. And as that does, as you get wind of it, I'm hopeful, one, you'll reach out to me and let me know, because I will chase those states too. But knock on your representative's door, knock on your state senator's door, and tell them why this is a bad idea. Kicking out DJI and Autel drones because they're Chinese.
Right.
You are really forcing people to use substandard equipment. And we're talking about lives at risk when we're talking.
Absolutely. That's another good point. Another good point is I hate Skype. And it's like they change the interface every week. They change it every week. And so I'm going to have to now, Donald, stand by for one moment. While Ryan tells everybody there is a link to help you. Ryan doesn't do this for a living. He does this as a hobby out of the kindness of his heart. And there's a link in the description. But maybe
so we have a free funder, so we don't use a GoFundMe. It's called Free Funder, and we set this up with the Michigan Coalition of Drone Operators. It's in partnership with Dean Greenblatt, who is our attorney, fantastic attorney, aviation attorney, and all that money that comes in is helping us win these cases as we go forward with trying to make sure state preemption takes effect. So the important piece here is as we knock out things in Michigan, I'm able to take those cases and shop them to the other states in the nation that have preemption and be able to say to local governments there, hey, if you don't repeal your ordinance, we have legal action that we can take against you. And look, it worked in Michigan. What do you think is going to happen in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Florida, et cetera? So it's really critical that we get those funds so that we can make these efforts happen, both in Michigan and then nationwide.
Man, you wasted enough time with that. I mean, that was really great, but I don't know how to bring anybody else in. This sucks.
Oh, no.
Frickin' Skype. I hate Skype so much. Die, Skype. Just die. Just die.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I will say, you were bragging earlier. Hey, no troubles.
Yeah, what could happen? Nothing could happen.
Yeah. No karma here.
Well, at least we're still streaming, so.
Oh boy. You better start knocking on wood.
Yeah, nothing gonna happen. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I am gonna have to call you back. I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to do. Because Skype just sucks so much.
Yeah.
It just sucks so much. All right, well, I don't know what to do. Man, just a bunch of Skype. Just, let's see here. Beep. He's up. See, now we got him. Now I'm going to have to call you back. You there? Don?
Yeah, you got me?
I got you, man. Hey, there he is, but I lost Ryan. Skype sucks. I'll have to call you right back. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can. I click this. Oh God, I hate Skype so much. There we go. Let's do that. Stand by. No, we have Ryan.
I'm here.
Now I lost him. God damn it. I hate Skype so fucking much. Look at my face is getting red now. Now what could happen? Nothing's going to happen. God damn it. I hate Skype so goddamn much. People in the South hate it when I say GD, but I grew up saying it, so fuck it. I'm going to say it.
There you go.
Piece of shit. Fucking Skype. Get the kids out of the room. This isn't stopping. Fuck. I'll have to go back. God damn it. I hate Skype so fucking goddamn much. Anyway. Hey! All right. Yeah, time to fly. Central Iowa Audits. Thanks for being in here. Appreciate it. You're going to miss out because you're going to want to see this. Let's see. No, that's not it. Stand by. I'm going to play a video while this will be good. This is Caroline's Spanish break. I'm going to play a video for you while I figure this out. Isn't this relaxing, Ryan?
It's very relaxing.
This is Spain. Really? Caroline, yeah, Caroline Tyler RC. She went to Spain and she filmed this, and it's almost as good as the Raz.
Oh, yeah.
Almost. All right. Yeah, I had to restart Skype because Skype is a pile of dog shit. Yes, it is. All right. So thank you very much, Caroline. All right, now we're going to bring Don in. We're going to
hope to bring Don.
Oh, we're going to bring him in. We're going to bring him in.
All right.
There ain't no stop. What could go wrong? Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing could go wrong. What could happen? I dare something to go wrong. Ah! All he has to do is answer the phone. Stand by for Donald. The felon. It's calling him, but he's not answering. And now another joke from Ryan.
Oh.
See, this is why I ask you. This is why I ask you to do jokes. You see? You see why now?
I get it. I honestly get it. And yet you told me no jokes this time. I'm just having.
No. And you believed me? Come on now.
I guess I shouldn't do that.
All right, just waiting on Donald to answer the phone. Go ahead, Donald, and answer that phone anytime. Anytime. I know it's calling him.
Oh, come on.
Trying.
Here he is.
He's got that. Now he's got to get the camera.
Yep, I hear you.
There
he is. Welcome.
Yeah.
See, you look nothing like. You look like just a badass biker dude that's gonna knock your block off right there. You look like just a nice, kindly gentleman here.
You got to realize that was I needed a haircut, which I got, and that was after about 18 hours in a cell.
Yeah.
And I was arrested with a stocking cap on.
Oh my gosh. And they didn't find your burglary tools, right?
No.
Okay,
no.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Fast
Well,
shows.
welcome to the show, sir. You've got an interesting tale. You were arrested for flying a drone and charged with a felony, and Ryan here helped you out, and I want to hear all about it. But first, what we're going to do is, as promised, people are waiting for this. You sent me your first interaction with the police as you were flying out there.
If I could just preface this.
Please preference it. Yes.
This was not my first encounter with this officer.
Oh, okay.
I had a encounter earlier in the summer where he was going to arrest me when I had been assaulted with a deadly weapon.
Oh, he was going to
arrest me until the town cop showed up and basically pushed him to the back and took over and did everything right.
Okay, so is this a county police officer that we're going to see?
This is a county deputy, a Oceana, Michigan county deputy.
Okay. But I think even so, I think, you admitted that it's not ideal the way you interacted, or are you?
I think I told you I'm probably more of a Keith than a Ken.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to play it and then we'll talk about it afterwards. There are a few things that we will learn from this interaction, but here it is.
Hello. How are you doing today? Oh, I don't answer questions.
Okay. Do you know why I'm here?
That would be a question, wouldn't it?
Right? Well, this is a legitimate police contact, if you're worried about that.
Congratulations.
All right. So, I'm going to ask you to cease and desist from operating a drone within the power lines.
Under what authority?
My authority as a sheriff's deputy.
Wrong. Try again. You have no authority over the airspace.
I do.
No, you don't.
So,
in fact, I'm going to go right back there and I'm going to fly it again here in a minute.
Well, you're going to go fly around the power lines?
Yeah.
Right in the substation?
I didn't say that, so I'm going to go do the same thing I did
you were
before.
within about 5 feet of the power line.
No, you're wrong.
Substation.
I can fly within 5 feet of the power lines if I want.
Well,
that's perfectly legal.
How about you don't do that?
What law are you enforcing? Right. What law are you enforcing?
So I'll tell you what. You can find out later.
Okay. So
don't do that.
So was that a threat?
I'm telling you what.
Are you threatening me? Under what authority are you telling me where I can fly my drone? Under what authority?
I don't got to answer your questions.
Yeah, actually, you do. You're my public servant. Hey, well, name and badge number. Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Tyrant! Well, there you have it. Wouldn't even identify himself.
Okay. Now, this is the first time that Ryan has seen this.
It is.
Your thoughts, Ryan? you go first.
Not ideal, obviously.
Right. Here's what I'll say. Okay. Now, I've had a few police encounters videos on my channel. Inevitably, it's always some armchair warrior that gets on there and says stuff like, "How's that boot leather taste?" And I'm like, well, it tastes like I'm sleeping in my own bed tonight and not eating a county bologna sandwich. That's what the boot leather tastes like. Sometimes you have to pick your fights and take the low road, but that's just me because I'm allergic to handcuffs. But Ryan, Don, I'll leave it to you.
Well, the problem I have is, although I was not as congenial as I could have been, what they did to me, they do to a lot of people that have no resources to fight back.
Yes.
Okay. Now, to me, it happened with a drone, and they went and found something to charge me with, even though they didn't really have anything to charge me with.
Yeah.
They didn't create it, but they picked and choose something to charge me with that had no standing in good faith. And it cost me, time in jail. It cost me money for a lawyer. It cost me my drone for over 4.5 weeks. But it cost my reputation, which I've been working on repairing.
Yeah, because you were in the paper. It's a very public thing. Now you're not in jail now, so that's good. ultimately,
My wife would agree too.
Yes, she's a very sweet lady, and so you just in the end it was thrown out. Just so everybody knows, it was thrown out. Of court.
The charges were dismissed after Dean Greenblatt very politely and professionally explained to the prosecuting attorney how to read a law and why the law that I was charged with has 5 paragraphs. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but I think 3 of the paragraphs exonerate me from being guilty of anything.
Yeah. So, and probably here's the detail of the case, right? So the law that they went and charged Don with is basically saying you can't fly over critical infrastructure. But the challenge is that particular law, right? It has 3 different areas. One, it says you can't do so for basically nefarious purposes, right? So if you are intentionally looking to do harm, that's against the law. Well, obviously, Don was not looking to intentionally do harm. That's one exemption. The second exemption is if you're a Part 107 operator, right? Oh, Don's a Part 107, so you're out there. And I think the third is, and this one's really critical, is that it mentions that you have to be designated, that location has to be designated as critical infrastructure. Now, drone pilots, what's critical infrastructure? What's designated? The FAA designates particular areas as critical infrastructure. They do so in the ArcGIS, right? That's the only place, that's the sole source of where you find critical infrastructure. The process to do that, right? A local government, they can go, hey, we have this electrical substation, or we have this prison, we have this nuclear facility. We want this to be considered political, or we want this to be considered critical infrastructure. We have to go to the FAA. We have to follow the FAA process. They review that, and then they will determine, yes, this is critical infrastructure. We're going to put this on the map on the ArcGIS. And anybody can then look this up and go, oh, yeah, you cannot fly here.
That's very interesting because, so like all dams are not just blanket critical infrastructure. It has to be designated.
Right. And that's a lot of what happens is that you have these dam companies that, or even the Army Corps of Engineers that will go, hey, this dam is critical infrastructure. No, it's not. You haven't gone through the process with the FAA, or you tried to go through the process with the FAA and the FAA said, no, this isn't critical infrastructure. We're not going to put this on.
I have had experience. I had the Army Corps of Engineers call me about a video that I posted 5 years ago. And they didn't even use the words critical infrastructure back then. They just said, we don't want you to fly here. Will you take the, and I didn't want to get on the Army Corps of Engineers radar, you know? and so, you know, and just to let you know, everybody, I'm with you, Don. You were right. You had the law and the right behind you. Absolutely. But I wouldn't want, I don't want to be on the radar. That's the thing. I want to avoid the radar at all costs. But you were in the right, of course. And if you have the time to go to court and fight it, and you have the money, then sure, this is what we need people to do. We need people to set precedent. And is that what you feel that maybe you've done with this?
No, I don't think there's been any precedent set. I think the sheriff, along with the prosecuting attorney, abused their privileges to slap me around. I feel my civil rights were seriously abused because there was nothing, any 7th grader could have read this law and seen there was nothing to charge me with. But even after Dean Greenblatt pointed out all the law to them, they didn't just automatically drop the charges like the prosecuting attorney made it seem in the article, news article. They offered a plea deal down to a misdemeanor that was a $1,500 fine and possible 90 days in jail.
So do you think that you went through all of this because you had a previous interaction with this particular officer?
Oh, absolutely. I believe I was arrested for contempt of cop.
Yeah. I've been there, man. I've been there.
And I think that's the lesson, right? So first and foremost is as a drone operator, when you're on site and you're flying and you're approached by an authority, the very high likelihood is that you have more understanding of FAA regulations than your counterpart, right? That police officer may have their own particular interpretation of things that they've heard in layman's terms, but the likelihood is you are the one with the wisdom in that conversation.
I will give you that. This is what you said is very true. However, in my case, I was first detained and my drone confiscated. They then had 3.5 weeks to look at the law. They could have checked the FAA website to see if I was a licensed pilot. I had told the police officer that I was a licensed pilot when they detained me, that I had checked my flight through Before You Fly with the FAA website to make sure I was cleared for takeoff. There were no warnings of anything around like a key facility. And I think you were the one that told me, Ryan, and I just got the map right here that we looked at. There are no key facilities anywhere in my entire county.
Right.
So
yeah.
Another little interesting tidbit, Ted, or Ken, you'll probably love this, is if you were to look at my website, Michigan Drone Photos, you would see I video lighthouses and churches and parades and, kids jumping off the bridge down at the river and things like that. But this summer I went, there's a video on there of a race we had down here in Stony Lake, very small community, 1,000 racers. When I was going to fly my drone, I was asked to do video, but there was no way I could safely fly my drone. It was too small of an area, too big of a crowd. The race was starting under a full tree canopy and everything. So I put my GoPro on my mono stick and I used that. After the race, there's 600-700 people in this parking lot, and I look over and there's a drone 10 feet in the air hovering right over the top of everybody.
Right.
So I walk over and I talk to this young kid. He's 20 or something, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, you can't fly your drone here. Bring your drone down, and he's all nervous, and he's like, oh, well, and he points over and he says, well, he told me I could fly it. And he's pointing at what? An Oceana County sheriff leaning against his cruiser. So I walk over and talk to this sheriff, and I ask him, I said, sir, excuse me. And he said, yeah. I says, did you really tell this guy over here it was okay for him to fly his drone over this crowd? He says to me, well, we don't have any jurisdiction over that, so we don't care.
Okay, but he didn't tell him he doesn't care. Do it at your own risk.
No,
he said
you
have permission from me, the agency, and that's another thing. And
yeah,
admittedly, years ago, I've been doing this quite a while, and probably 2012, 13, I would ask permission of the wrong people, and then you could just say, well, I got permission, but you got permission from just some other dude that was there. Hey man, what's your name? Mike? Hey Mike, is it all right if I fly here? Okay, I got permission. You have to ask especially now. But yeah, it seems to me that you're a responsible drone owner and flyer. And do you think, I think I know the answer, do you think that if I'll just call him Officer Friendly.
Would you like his name? I can give you his name.
I don't know.
I got his phone
Ryan
number,
should be no. Please don't do that. Don't do that. But if
Oceana County Sheriff's Department.
Yes, if you had said to him, "Hey, I'm going to bring it down. Would you like to know a few things about droning? Would you if you tried to educate him? Do you think he'd be open to that or no?"
No, he was not interested in being open to anything.
And that was because of your previous history with him?
Yes.
All right.
I believe so.
I had an interaction with the Chattanooga Police Department in Chattanooga. I was flying the Riverside near a concert, and one of the Chattanooga police officers said, "You can't fly here." And I said, "Yeah, we can." He said, "Where's your permission?" And I pulled out my FAA Part 107 card, and he was like, "Never seen it before." And I posted that, and a couple weeks later, I got a call from a sergeant from the police department. They have a whole drone program there, and what we decided was that me and Jason Shappert, remotepilot101.com, by the way, you can use Heron 18 to get a discount if you want to go there and get your 107. We're going to go down there, and we're going to make a video education supplement for the Chattanooga Police Department, because the sergeant and another lieutenant both agree that they didn't know enough about it. Now, that is rare, I would say, for a department to be self-aware and admit that they need to be educated and to reach out to someone in the community like myself to do that. But not everybody is like that.
About the same thing here.
Yeah, yeah.
Our not our police chief, our sheriff, about it.
Right.
He acted like he was open to it, but it was very condescending the way he accepted my offer to find someone to do that.
Right, right. Was that the first time you called that particular officer a tyrant? Because that's not a word that's going to open up avenues of opportunity for you.
I think in our first encounter, I told him he was an idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's legal. You can do whatever, you can say whatever you want to a cop. It's, that's your First Amendment right, of course, but
the honest truth is, I don't believe the individual has the intelligence to be carrying a firearm.
Oh, well, okay.
And enforcing the law.
Okay. Just a quick hold on.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yes, please. Hold on.
I will say.
Hi, this is Ken. The opinions of Mr. Muckle do not necessarily reflect those of. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yes, yes, Ryan.
I was going to say I think that the sheriff deputy, it clearly showed he had his own opinions of drones in various situations, right? So he might have been okay if it was just flying in an open field, but he had deemed himself as the authority on drones regarding electric compass.
Ken,
yes.
Did you see the video where the employee in the drone yard told me okay when I told him I was putting my drone up and take pictures?
Just getting to that. I'll go ahead. Let's share that right now.
Hello.
Contractor.
I say you got a pretty major project going on here.
I expect they're just expanding the substation, but I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw my drone up here in a minute. Do is fly around and get some good shots.
Okay. All right then.
Hey, have a good day, man.
Okay, so Your Honor, I submit that permission wasn't asked and permission wasn't given. You said, I'm going to do this. And he's like, okay. That wasn't like, may I do this? And yes, you may. That wasn't, it's all semantics. But I will say, as far as that other, police are human, could be having a bad day, could be having a bad year. We don't know. It could be just an asshole. We don't know. But, you spins the wheel, you take your chances.
Ken, I'll give you mine. And Don, I don't know if you've heard this one before either, but I've been flying for more than a decade now, and probably in the 2016 area, I was down flying at the state capitol of Michigan, and right across the street is the Lansing Police Department. Now, I have been flying at the Capitol for years and years and years at that point, and been actually training the Michigan State Police, who roam the Capitol grounds and are covering the Capitol grounds. So this rookie cop from the Lansing Police Department sees the drone in the sky, comes over, hey, you need to get that drone out of here now. Get it down. Under what authority? Oh, that pissed him off. Right? So he comes over and he's demanding it down. And all right, I'm going to bring it down. Well, I have an Inspire. Right, it's not going to come down all that fast, and big, yeah. I want some space. So I'm like, please stand back. I need you to be away from me. That ticked him even more off, and the drone's not coming down fast enough. He says, I'm calling Michigan State Police. You're in trouble now. Okay, so he called them. As I'm bringing the drone to a landing, Michigan State Police car comes down the one-way street the wrong way, comes screeching to a halt, and out jumps the Michigan State Trooper. As he does so, he says, hey, Ryan, I see you're flying tonight. Do I get a chance to fly? At that point, I get to be kind of the professor watching my student teach another police officer about drone operations and regulations.
And that's got to be our goal.
Yes.
That's it, and that's exactly it. We need to be educators first and foremost. Unfortunately, there are those individuals in uniform that have no interest in being educated.
That
I
is true.
suspect that Don met with one of those
Yes.
individuals.
Yes.
But again, yes, the officer needed to be educated, and I didn't do it in the best way. I'll admit that. But again, you had a prosecuting attorney that had 3.5 weeks to look at the law.
Right.
And he still decided to charge me.
Yeah.
Have me arrested, cuffed, put in a cop car, taken to a cell, spent 26 hours before I was released. You know, I mean, the only good thing that came out of it is I ended up paying somebody else's bail and getting them home for Christmas so they could be with their kids.
That's nice. But yeah, I mean, people are spiteful sometimes. And a lot of police, like Ryan was saying, just have no interest in being educated, and they do this blanket. Now, I think that has something to do with them being a little bit lazy and not wanting to look into it. You know
so
what
you're
I mean?
very nicely saying that it's okay for them to abuse their powers?
I'm not saying it's okay at all. Not at all. I'm just saying it happens. And unfortunately,
I just want to make sure that's what we're talking about.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Officers abusing their power.
If a cop comes up and says my window tint is too dark and I know it's not, I'm still going to get that ticket whether I like it or not, and then I go fight it in court and prove that it's not. That's the route that I would go, rather than sitting there and saying, well, you know, you suck and you smell and, you know, I hate you and you're a tyrant and all that.
Yeah,
That's just not what I would do.
I think the big challenge here is that Don was charged with a felony, right?
Yes,
And
yes. That is
serious.
That is
crap.
crazy. What if you were convicted? What would that have been? 4 years?
They could have sentenced me to 4 years.
No, what is there any repercussions? Are you able to, you know,
No,
get
no,
any?
there are no, because I didn't break any laws.
No, I mean for you, can you like, you know, get an apology or anything like that?
Very difficult thing to do, from what I've been told and what I've learned. And Mr. LaTourette here he was the very first person I contacted after I was initially detained and they confiscated my drone. And I told him the question I told him what happened, and my question is do I need a lawyer? And he immediately pointed me to Dean Greenblatt. And I wasn't messing around. I probably could have got some local lawyer a lot cheaper, and because the distance and everything else. But with a 4-year felony looking at me, I wasn't going to mess around, and I wanted somebody who knew aviation law, and that's Dean Greenblatt.
Okay.
And Ken, that's where we really have to start thinking about legal defense fund. We put together with Michigan Coalition of Drone Operators that free funder link, and the idea is we understand there has to be a legal defense fund because Don's situation is going to happen again.
Yeah,
we know that, and we have to have resources available that we can help in those circumstances.
How do we go about making that happen?
Ken, I'll tell you, I was in a cell with 4 other young men for the whole time. They were there that night. None of us were had to have a bail hearing until the next day. And the system, the reason I paid the bail for somebody else was because there was a young man that had made some mistakes earlier, and because he was in the system, he wasn't getting any breaks. He got pulled over on his 4-wheel on the road, and they charged him with fleeing and eluding.
Yeah.
He was going to miss Christmas with his family. He had a job, he worked, but he couldn't make bail. There was various reasons for that we talked about through the night, but he was in the system, and there's so many like myself that start in the system. What if I had no resources in that situation?
Right.
Okay. What if I couldn't afford to hire a good lawyer? Okay. I mean, even after they knew I hadn't broken any laws, they tried to plead it down to something that still could have cost me 90 days in jail and $1,500.
And that's just personal spite.
And the only reason was because I have some education and wherewithal, and I have some money to be able to hire a lawyer. But there's so many people out there that get caught up in the system. And once you get into the system and you plead to something, because you can't risk going beyond that, you're in the system now. The next time they come down on you like a hammer because you're already in the system.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that, I mean, you how many people were in your cell?
There was 5 of us in it.
And you walked in.
They were all in their 20s.
And they're all like, "What'd you do?" And you're like, well, "I'm a drone operator." And they're like, "Whoa, all right." All right, you get the bunk of your
Stay back
choice.
from that guy.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, it was an interesting 26 hours. There was a couple of them in there that probably needed to go to prison.
Yeah.
And there was one young kid that just made a mistake for the first time in his life, and he was going to be fine. And then this kid that I helped out who had been trying to get on a straight road, and I thought was just getting a raw deal.
Well, I'm very sorry that happened to you, and I know it's something that's going to stick in your craw for a while, because really, you're done with it. You got your drone back. They didn't break it, right? You got it back.
The sheriff wanted me to immediately sign off on all my stuff, but I took the props off my drone and fired it up in the lobby, and then he wanted me to sign off, and I said, no, I haven't seen it fly yet. So I took it out in the front yard of the sheriff's office, which is the city county building and sheriff's office, and I flew it over the top of the police station a little bit before I brought it down. And everything works.
Probably made you feel a little bit better, didn't it?
Yeah, that'll be part of my YouTube video.
Okay,
eventually.
good. So now it's you never again. You spin the wheel. You take your chances. What if the asshole cops just had an A on their forehead? Wouldn't that be helpful? But you don't know until you interact with them. What should people do now that you've been through all this? What would you advise people to do in a similar situation? What would you do differently, if anything?
What would I do differently?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm already ready to go back and film there again. You know, it's. They put up cameras since I filmed there.
Right.
They still haven't put up any signage or anything that, identifies it as a key facility or anything like that.
Right. Well, next time you film a officer interaction, don't use vertical video. Hold the camera this way. So, and another thing, I
thought about you when I did that too.
Did you? I got the video. Vertical video, son of a bitch. And now I'm not making any suggestions here. Now this may not have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I just want to put this out there, okay? If you want to gift anyone in your life, anyone that you recently met, I'm not saying anybody. I am saying Amazon does sell a nice edible anus arrangement. These are genuine edible anuses, and you can mail them to whoever you want. I'm just saying, be creative, whatever you want. I'm sure whoever receives this edible anus arrangement will appreciate them gratefully. And please use the link, my affiliate link in the description.
Plug.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being on and for sharing your story with us, sir. I really do appreciate it.
I hope something can come of it. I'd love to do some work to do like a drone defense fund, if you would. My son has a degree in nonprofit business, and he's set up a few nonprofits, and it's something I'd like to look into further, because I know there are going to be more people like me that end up in a situation like this that may not have the resources to go out and get themselves out of trouble right away, or know the people like Ryan here who was able to help me out and point me in the right direction.
Right. Now, if you do that, please let me know, and I'll let everybody know about it and how to donate. All right?
Definitely.
All right. Happy flying, sir.
Thank you very much for having me on, Ken. I enjoyed it very much. Please don't let Skype drive you out of the business.
Oh, my God. No, I'm going to try to just hang up with you and leave Ryan here.
One last thing.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait till I can send you some tube socks.
Oh, that'll never happen. Drone delivery will never, ever happen, sir. But you can send me a lovely edible anus arrangement whenever you like. Okay. I'll see you later, bud. Thanks. Okay. Woo, well, that was fun, wasn't it? Woo-hoo. That was, I hope, all kidding aside, that was a raw deal. And I'm sorry. Yeah. He's a really nice guy. He doesn't look like a complete criminal like his mugshot. He does, I look at that guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, that guy. Anyway.
And I will say the prosecutor in this case, I think is a complete tool, because he he really did not understand the law. He probably didn't read it closely. And even when he was pointed to the correct interpretations of everything, to say, oh, I still needed some type of conviction. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't they get brownie points for the number of convictions they have?
Yeah.
Right. That's the prosecutor.
I think he's deserving of that gift box.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Do you think that could he have gotten a public defender, and would a public defender have served him well at all in this?
There's that possibility, but when I looked at the law and it was a 4-year felony, I said, you know what? That's not one to joke around with.
Right.
If it was a misdemeanor, I would have said, hey, you can defend yourself and I will help you get the wording together to write a motion to dismiss or just to defend yourself entirely in court. Yeah. But when it's a felony, now you're messing with somebody's
That's true.
livelihood.
That's true. So I had just a few videos to share. The show's going a little long because of all the amazing content that we had tonight. Thank you so much for checking it out, everybody. It's not over yet because we're going to talk about cockfighting here in just a moment. But first, I want to thank a few people who are in the super chats here. Let me, I don't know if we have a train coming, but I know we have a few people in here. Thank you very much. Leonard, appreciate that. Our goal for new members tonight, 10. We've blown that away by 2, so thank you very much. Ken Torbeck, $10. And I will be in Discord tonight. Moderators, if you want to post a link to my Discord, we'll chit-chat after the show a little bit. Thank you very much, Ken Torbeck. He says $10 US money, almost like $50 US 3 years ago. Okay. Daniel sent $10. Thank you very much for being a member. Hope you get some mud for your turtle. Me too. Maybe we were talking about turtles earlier. Junk Pick has been a member for 38 months. 2024, let's go. 200K for Ken. Let's go ahead and check that. Let's go to the big board and see where we are right now. And haven't broken.
Got another 11 on there.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks. I appreciate it. And let's see, over here to One Stud Puppy, $1.99. Skype is a catastrophe. It really is. They do an update like every week, and every week they're like, where do we put the join button this time? Let's mess Ken up a little bit. We'll put it in the bottom right and hide it behind some other menu. That'll be fun. Bastards. Shelby Vol. Hey, Shelby. Thank you very much for hopping in here. Hi, Ken. You look hot in them jeans. Bye. Well, thank you, Sailor. Appreciate that. One Stud Puppy back again with the $1.99. That cop was salty. The donut shop closed. Yeah. And Fly High FPV. He's been a member for a good long time. FPV is not a crime. You dang right. You dang right. Thank you, Fly High. Quadcopters Tech and FPV has been a member for 11 months of the Pigeon Jerky Gang. Thank you so much for your support. FPV Hawa. And TJ Grady, Anubis Arts, $19.99. Thanks, buddy. And he says, as always, and this is so important, I can't stress this enough. He says quite simply, pickles. And Ryan, I think you'll agree when I say pickles. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And thank you, TJ. Look Mama Drone has been a member for 27 months, and they say, hey, Ken, and a Baba Booey to you all. Thank you so much. All right. Now, let's talk about cockfighting. So I saw this, and I didn't know this existed, but apparently there's an Oklahoma Game Fowl Commission. Did you know that there was an Oklahoma Game Fowl Commission?
Not until you pinged me with the story. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
So apparently these two dudes love cockfighting. And look, whatever you want to do in the privacy of your own home is up to you. I'm not judging if you want to cockfight. What's that? Oh, okay. Silly me. I'm being told by my producer that doesn't exist that I'm thinking of something entirely different. Entirely. So, Ryan, your thoughts on this?
You know, one, this cockfighting bill is trying to make it illegal to use drones to kind of surveil cockfighting, right?
Well, what isn't cockfighting illegal?
Cockfighting is illegal in all 50 states. It's federally illegal.
But what about the Oklahoma? Wait, what is it? The Oklahoma Cockfighting Association, Oklahoma Game Fowl Commission.
Yeah. Game Fowl Commission. Interestingly enough, and I had to do some research, and I found out that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were big into game cockfighting.
Thanks for putting game in the beginning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Abraham Lincoln, Honest Abe, was because he was a impartial judge of game cockfighting.
Well, you know what? They didn't have cable. What else was there to do?
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
You know? There's nothing else to do.
So now it's illegal in all 50 states, and yet Oklahoma has based this bill on the Texas bill. You may recall the Texas bill that went to court. A pig slaughterhouse had been surveilled by a newspaper operator who, he was out taking pictures of things and saw a pink lake.
Oh, yes.
A lake. It was a pool of blood.
Right. They're putting all their pig leavings in there.
Yeah, so the NPPA, which is the National Press Photographers Association, they went out and they sued Texas to try to eliminate the Texas law. They won at their first court. They had the court, Texas appealed, and they lost in that appeal. And so having lost in the appeal, now Oklahoma has said, hey, we like that Texas law. Let's put it in place for us too.
Well, I mean, my puppy mill meth lab. What if a drone flies over my puppy mill meth lab? Can I get protected here in Tennessee from that? Can we make a bill that protects the puppy mill meth labs? And
isn't it interesting that we're trying to protect livestock, which doesn't have privacy?
Right. Well, I guess it's property, right?
But property doesn't have privacy either, right? It's persons that have privacy.
So yeah.
But yeah, you're trying to protect the business owner from the scrutiny that would come from having a drone take a picture of whatever's happening illegally on your property.
Yeah. By the way, Drone Slot, thank you very much. $10. Appreciate it. Ken, keep on flying into the tree branch. Yes, trees are in fact dicks. The t-shirt link is in the description. Maybe you think I can get Ryan to say it? Hey, Ryan, what are trees?
Dicks.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Verita Weasel. $20 from Verita Weasel. Thank you, buddy. Love the show and videos, and look Mama Drone back with $2. Thank you. Valentine's Day, chocolate anus, and cockfights. That's right. That's what this show is all about. And they really do exist.
A stream.
What a stream. Now, one more thing before we go here. I got this comment, and maybe someone out in the chat or anybody can chime in on this. This is about my confrontation with cops over a drone almost getting arrested. It says, I'm new to drones. 5 River Metro Parks in Dayton, Ohio area charges $200 a day for commercial and research drone use only. I talked to them about FAA Preemptive Authority and UAS. The first lady said it's about privacy. I told her that there isn't any privacy in public. Duh. She did not like that. Of course she didn't. Another guy said they will research preemptive laws and very nice. Asked if I took off and landed from private property, would that be allowed? But they said they will still enforce their ordinance under 107.45. Government thinks they own everything. He said that they don't want things flying over boaters and people. I have many thoughts about this. And I know you do too, Ryan. Now, there is a thing, and I disagree with it, but I adhere to it, and that is the private, the property taking off and landing. But for someone to charge you to fly in a free airspace, that is what I like to refer to as Bullshit.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Where
That's
else is
major
this happening, and why is this happening? Why do they think they can do this to us?
I think it's kind of interesting. One, they mentioned 10745, right, which is operation in prohibited or restricted areas.
But it may not apply.
Well, it wouldn't apply, right? So
Yeah.
they are a local government, local state park. This is a federal ordinance, right? A federal regulation.
Right.
This is no bearing whatsoever on what they're doing.
But they like to spew it out because it sounds official.
Right, exactly.
And they'll probably put it on a sign that they had made at Kinko's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Ohio is not a state preemptive state, so the local government could create their own ordinance, or the state park or the local park could have their own rules regarding drones. But yeah, if you're going to launch and land from outside and overfly that area, then you are in the airspace, national airspace, covered under NAS. It's kind of interesting to me that they're saying boaters, we don't want people over boaters. Then why would you not cite the over persons regulations rather than go to 10745? It's kind of a head scratcher. But I would, if I get that information from you, Ken, I will write them and have a little conversation.
Okay,
and,
good.
We'll see if
good.
we can't adjust their
It's all
mindset.
about knowledge, because it's still, believe it or not, after all this time, it's still the Wild West for drones out here. It's still just like regulations. Yeehaw! You know, it's just, there's no blanket. Maybe one day, everybody will know the kind of, but not now. Not now. And these little municipalities, we don't like drones. Look up an ordinance, put on there. All right. Ordinance number zippity-doo-dah 105. Ooh.
Right.
Yeah. So don't fall for it. Don't fall. And I've also heard from people in Canada that they are doing that outside of all the expenses that they have to go through as well. They're charging for like cinema fees or something or other. They're adding on these little, much like these little towns in Tennessee, that their major import is speeding tickets, or the export is speeding tickets. Like these little unincorporated little towns, but they have like one cop, and that's how they make their money. Ooh.
Yeah, a few years back, we had a situation in L.A., right? L.A. wanted to charge a commercial filming permit to fly a drone, and an individual was arrested and thrown in jail, and ended up challenging in court and won. In New York City is another that, they are requiring film permits.
Yes, in
I
state
think
parks.
More governments are trying that.
In state parks.
Yeah.
Yep. And they can't, that's the thing, they can't give you permission.
No.
They can charge you, but they can't give you permission. It doesn't make any sense.
And that's kind of the interesting aspect here, is that how many of those ordinances are going to be going away when beyond line of sight flight comes in place? I could be standing outside your city, overfly your city, and use that footage in my commercial film. You can't come after me to charge a fee.
There's so much
national airspace
coming down the pike. Innovation always outpaces regulation. That's the way it's always going to be. And, the FAA right now their attention shouldn't even be on drones. Their attention should be like, hey, stop making planes land on other planes at the airports. Hey, how about you look at that first? Then worry about us later. Eh? Oh, this is getting me. I'm getting triggered. You know what I need? I probably need, I need a little Raz. Let's go ahead and step inside the Raz chamber. My goodness, it's lovely in here, isn't it? Oh,
it is beautiful.
There are no troubles. There are no dickweed police officers messing with you. There's no
trees.
No trees in here. Nothing but Ryan in his banana hammock and you. It's a lovely place. There's no rules in here. Well, there's one suggestion. What is that suggestion, sir? What is it?
I think it has to do with party.
Please. refrain from farting in the raz. Enjoy. William Vavank? Is that how you say his name? William William V, stop farting in the raz, you dirty, dirty bird. You dirty bird. Oh, shame, we just said. And Carl's Corner, slow your roll, bud. Good God. Well, that copy and paste, that's fun, isn't it? Let's see. I wanted to do one more thing before we left. And did that, and we did that, we played that, and we did, showed you that, and then we did that.
A lot of content.
So much. I do want to remind everybody that I am receiving your videos for the Crash compilation number 12 here, Ken Heron Upload at gmail.com. Do send your clips in. Make sure it's a streaming link. Don't send me a big old honking file because my computer's like, no. And let me know what music you used in there. All right, because if it's not Epidemic Sound, provider of copyright-free music and sound effects, then it's crap! Indeed. And I have one more crash. Enjoy this. This is from Hexy FPV. Just flying around, minding their own business.
213.
Oh no. Ah, trees!
Oh.
Son of a gun! Oh, there's trees! No! Oh no! Oh, I know the feeling. I also have to remind you, if you do want to get the knowledge and educate others and get your Part 107 and get out there and be in furtherance of a business legally, well, then you need to go to remotepilot101.com. That's the training course. Jason Shappert, you know, the guy with a smile that's visible for 3 statute miles. The 10 god with 2 watches, that guy. He's constantly updating his curriculum to give you the latest and greatest, because the FAA, they're tricky. Man, you think the test is easy? Well, it will be if you use remotepilot101.com. A division of M0A.com if you want to be a manned pilot. If you already have your 107 and you want to go the extra step and get some skin in the game and fly up there with the manned aviation, well, you can go to M0A.com as well. But for us drone people, remotepilot101.com. Use Heron18 for a 30% off discount. That knocks the price down to about $104. And once you're in there for life. That's it. You can will your membership to your grandchildren if you want to. That's how that works. And it's always being updated. And we thank them very much for being a sponsor. I think Jason's going to be back co-hosting in about 4 weeks, hopefully. And once again, remotepilot101.com. Use Heron18 to get 30% off. Get the knowledge you need to fly responsibly and make money legally. All right. I guess that's about it. I don't want this stream to be 9 hours long, but let's go ahead and just one more time go over here to my my live count and see if I've broken the 200,000. Not yet. We're creeping up on it. We're creeping. I'll just give it a minute. Because I know there's some people watching that aren't subscribed. And you know you don't want to miss out on this fabulous content. I mean, right? Right?
There you go.
Ryan? You
Absolutely.
back me up on that? Okay. All right. Whatever you do, don't unsubscribe and lower the number just to be a prick. Nobody would do that. Let's wait. Nobody would do that. You're not going to do that.
We need the Jeopardy.
Son of a bitch!
Oh!
You dirty birds! What are you doing? Oh, you're trying to trigger me. Inevitably, it's always some knuckleheads that do that. That's fine. I know you'll be back. And I appreciate everybody watching and supporting the channel. I've got a lot of great adventures coming up on my channel. I've already got so many plans in the works. I'm going to be traveling a lot more. If you want me to come hang out with you, if you have something interesting in your part of the country, I am willing to drive 7 or 8 hours. That's the max from Western Tennessee, right around the Memphis area is where I am. So I'm willing to drive a little bit. If you have something very interesting and you want to hang out for a little bit, I'll take a day trip out there. You got some big tall building, you got some cave, you got some abandoned something or other, you want to hang out, email me, okay? KenHeronUpload@gmail.com. Just put hang out in the subject line, and I'll get with you and we can plan on hanging out. KenHeronUpload@gmail.com, because I do, one of my favorite things to do is to get out there and meet people and go to places that I haven't been before and document local history and just hang out and have fun with drones, because that's what it's all about. I'm very optimistic for 2024. Ignore all the gloom and doom you see on in other videos. It's not going to be horrible. It's not going to be horrible. And Ryan, I'll give you the final word, sir.
Bye. No.
What? So
That's
what?
the final word, right?
What? Oh, cockfighting. No.
Cockfighting.
Yeah.
No, I think, continue to be an ambassador for the sport, the hobby, the industry, right? We always have to put our best foot forward, and when we do, we get more people involved, we get more people in the know, and that just expands and makes things a whole lot easier when we're going to legislative councils and trying to get legislators to write laws that are good for the drone industry.
Absolutely, because this is, after all, about fun in the end. And Look Mama Drone said, what about California? Yes, I plan on coming to California. As you know, I was on my way, but somebody hit my car, had to turn around. I was doing the Route 66 thing, but I do plan on this year. I think isn't there a big drone meetup in Oregon? I think I want to go, but I'm not going to fly. I don't fly commercial. I'm not going to do it. I will drive the cop car out there if I have to. But do email me, KenHeronUpload@gmail.com. And that is about it.
We hope you enjoyed the show half as much as you would have if it had been twice as good.
My goodness, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Jeff Sills, for all the wonderful news and for putting up with our shenanigans. And thank you very much, Ryan LaTourette. Your email is in the description. If anybody's having some troubles and want to confer with you, you are available through that email, and also a link to help you out financially, because again, this isn't your full-time job. You're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart and the kindness of your own wallet sometimes. So please help Ryan out. Help Ryan, help us. I will be in Discord in just a few moments. I'm going to go ahead and put that link in there right. Boom. There you go. Join me in Discord. I will talk to you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye. That's it. Whoa, that's scary.
enjoy pigeon jerky. Pigeon jerky, the killer could process meat. Enjoy pigeon jerky. Pigeon jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. Establish nutrition to help them grow, and it's full of fiber to make them grow. You enjoy pigeon jerky. Pigeon jerky, a killer could process meat. Yeah. That was so funny.
You'll enjoy Thursday Night Live with Ken Heron and Kelly, Jeff and Bo Shark too. There'll be fun and quizzes and Kelly's misses. The bird is the word in the news. It's the #1 live stream, it's got pizzazz. There's only one rule, don't fart in the rats. If you think it's funny, super chat some money, 'cause TNL is here for you. Yeah!